Hey guys, Rocky here, and welcome to non-existent patch version 1.6 plus? What? We're adding process now. What's next? X and Y? Now, first, before we talk about this patch, do note that it's made by Nova, the patch log, the update log, not the developer, source, quotient representative. So let that be known. So this video will be pretty short as well. It's just a few map changes and a new special map and some clarification for some certain things. Other than that, let's start with the video. Rocky, add a transmission right here, or transmission?
I'm so bored. I want to go home.
Some maps have been revamped, the first one being Transmission. It has received a bunch of extra walls and cover. And look how beautiful this place is looking now. Previously, this area in the middle was pretty barren. There was really nothing to it, but now, yeah, a lot of cool stuff can happen considering now that there's cover here and there's cover here for the enemy. So, a very cool map revamp. Fashion has also received a map revamp, that being a new addition with the wooden platform in the middle so you're able to take cover behind the supply caches. And also a new siren model, which has a cool light on it, which looks absolutely beautiful. It was pretty dark outside here, but now this map looks great. And for the newest special map, it is Spleef, that being a bunch of glass layers layered upon each other for you to play Spleef. And you're wondering, is it breakable? Yes, it's breakable. And there's one layer, there's two layers, there's three layers, and there's four layers, and then there's five. But the last one, there's lava, which I think you know what happens. You burn to death. Now, if you're wondering what surrounds this point, it's a giant wooden platform, kind of like a pool, where all the grass is stored in the middle, and of course, all the way down is the super deadly lava, which I think this is the first time we've seen in the game a fire source that isn't from like a player, but it's just on the map naturally, which is super cool to see. Now, the biggest question is, can we build? Along with the special map, a few of the special maps have been updated as well. Those being Airport Clear, Scrapyard, Ruins, Purification, Purity, Town, Mortuary, Shell House, Experimentation, Estate, Quarry, Saloon, and Barn. There's probably more changes that I forgot. However, these are the most major ones, which hopefully they'll be on screen when I state them all. Also, Barn has been fixed, as previously it would crash your entire server, but now it no longer does that, which means that I recorded the video when this patch was out. How interesting. Next up, we have another special map being added, one of the most anticipated ones I must add, and that is Prison. Now, Prison is made by Nova, Hunt Down the Xbox Man, and also Urination Lancer. Do note that it is unfinished as of now, and it's constantly being updated every single patch. For example, this is barbed wire right here, and the hitbox isn't hidden or hidden away. So let that be known, it is unfinished and it is currently being tested throughout every single patch. With Nova becoming more comfortable with how progress is going with this special map, it has now been added in the special maps pool for you to explore and discover. Now keep in mind, Prison is not your normal compound. It is often used for the jailbreak event that is hosted in the GD Discord server, as there are many ways to keep inmates in, but also many ways for inmates to escape, so let that be known. And lastly, one last reminder is that Prison is an unfinished map, which means there are still many bugs on this map and still many new additions that have not been added just yet. So keep that in mind when playing this map. I must say there is a lot of cool detail on this Prison map for it being unfinished. For example, this is the supply cache. It's a very weird supply cache, but it's there. And also, if you were to enter this section right here that prisoner holding, there's no greater hell than to be a prisoner of fear. You can put on this prisoner attire, which is, well, we've never seen anything like this before. There's also an insane amount of war documents on this map. Do note that it's not canon, obviously, because it's a special map, But there's stuff like this, which you can decipher. That'd be cool. And stuff like this. I don't know what that says. And also, there's one over here, I believe. Right here. Which I know Ransom made. Oh, well. Okay, I can read this, but... yeah, you get what I mean. There's also a bunch of jobs you can do. For example, there's chef, janitor, laundryman, and chaplain. For janitor, you just clean pools around of dirt, yada yada. For chef, you actually cook stuff. So if you were to go all the way over to the chef's room, you can actually start cooking. For example, you take a chocolate bar, and then you put it in the cook station. Like what, dude? Boom, look at that. Oh, that's the win. Oh, okay, there we go. Boom, one plate of food right there. And if anyone wants to eat it, you put it on the counter, and the person from behind the counter goes and grabs it, and they'll also eat it right here, like, which is absolutely insane. I do know that the laundryman is currently bugged right now, unfortunately, but chaplain is just, you wear this giant wooden cross, and then you go to the chapel, and then you say your prayers or whatever because it's chaplain. There's also a cool book you can read. I think it has a bunch of this miscellaneous stuff, like the Bible stuff for, you know, me saying just miscellaneous stuff and stuff like this is probably horrendous, huh? Now, one of the greatest additions in this game is the dumbbell. You can lift weights. Absolute cinema. But the most funniest thing is that it doesn't go away when you equip something, which means you can just kill someone with a dumbbell or shoot someone with a dumbbell. Now, there's a lot of things to keep inmates occupied, but there's also a lot of things inmates can find to escape. For example, the first one being a lockpick. What's cool is that if you pick an item up, it'll be displayed on your character. So don't get caught having this, otherwise you're gonna get butchered alive by the guards. Here we have some rope right here. I'll pick this up. Now, just saying, it doesn't always spawn in these locations. There are multiple generated locations for each item to find. Oh, for example, there's a lockpick right here. Now, you might be wondering, what do these items even do? Well, you can already see I made some work here. There's a giant hole in the wall, and that's because all these items help you escape. At certain spots in every part of the prison, there are ways to use your items. For example, the rope right here can be tossed, and you can climb up. Or you can use the fire right here, which, well... and boom! There is now a hole in the... what is the purpose of this? Also, if you want to reuse the rope, you can pick it back up after you climb up. If you're somehow able to get to the guards' quarters, there's a bunch of things to find in here. First of all, a supply cache, so I found nuclear weapons. Second of all, there's also a key. This key being access to every single door in the facility, which is displayed right there. Unfortunately, my binoculars and missiles are covering it, but it's right there. There's also this cool button. I wonder what it does. Uh-oh. There's also a right switch right here, which completely darkens the entire prison. And yes, if you play this in conscript mode, it is just pitch black and you can barely see anything. So have fun with that if you do play in conscript mode. With the guards' keys, you're able to close and open every door in the facility. And mind you, no prisoner can open anything in this facility. Only the guys with the keys. For example, I have a door right here. And if I want to open it, I'll just... I've opened the door, but my lockpick broke. And yeah, that's what happens when you open the door. And if you try to open the door, it's just... it's locked. I cannot open this because you don't have the keys. So, that's cool. And that is about everything in prison. Now, that wasn't everything because there is a vent system right here, which is super cool to climb around. But I do want to save this map for when it is actually finished, so we can see the full display of how cool this map can and will be in the future. So for now, that will be my summary of prison. If you want to explore even more that I didn't search, I didn't check, then go ahead and use /force.1 confusing. And remember, it is a special map, so slash special maps. So yeah. Lastly, we have Trialcompound changes, that being a new skyrite, extended capturing zone, and some new details, which is pretty cool. Do note that a bunch of stuff from Trialcompound has actually been moved to a new map called Novatesting, which is where all the cars reside, the balls, the gears, and much more, like movable objects and etc. So all the crazy shit will be in Novatesting. In the Novatesting compound, there's a bunch of cool like editor notes, which is similar to the Stanley Parable editor notes, which is super cool. For example, there's a gravity core here, and if I press space, I'm going to die! Lastly, they removed air part testing. As in the previous video, I wasn't able to access it, which it was because it was gone. So, that's the video. That's it. That is the end of version, or no, that is patch version 1.6 plus. So, have fun checking out the new prison special map and the Spleef map, which I do think I have plans for. And comment say Rives.